The first Gloom of Hades, Oinos, the battle plane. It takes its name from the Oinodaemon, or Oinoloth as it's known in later editions, which is the title held by the Lord of the Middle Lower Planes, ruling from their tower of Khin-Oin. Since Hades is the midpoint between the Abyss and Abbathor, its first layer is the primary battleground of the Blood War. The layer is scarred from countless battles, and it never sees peace anywhere on the layer. Ever. Oinos is mostly flat, rocky plains with occasional jagged hills. It is a sickly land of disease. Plants are withered and stunted, and anyone who walks on its surface or sails via the Styx through the layer have a 10% chance of catching a disease. This disease is called wasting sickness and drains 1 point of strength, constitution, dexterity, and charisma per day until all 4 reach 0, at which point they die. Now let's go over all of the locations of Oinos. Glitterhell. Glitterhell is the divine realm of Abbathor, the dwarven god of greed, and is a cavern complex deep within Oinos. The location of Glitterhell is unknown, but Abbathor spreads info of false locations to keep the greedy from stealing his gold. These dozens of other cave entrances look like the entrance to his realm but lead to lethal traps. Glitterhell is lined with gold that sparkles and glows, which is usually impossible in the gray world of Hades. People affected by the apathy of this plane are restored, the color of the gold reminding them of life and light and giving them something to strive for. Abbathor's lust and greed are so powerful that they constantly keep him motivated and immune to the despair of Hades. The diseases of Oinos also have no power here, since Abbathor is jealous of his good health and wants his workers to be healthy so that they may remain productive. Abbathor is a cruel taskmaster, always wanting his workers to work more, knowing there's more treasure to be accumulated in mind. So, the petitioners here always wish they had more time to themselves, but at least they're not pale ghosts like most in Hades. Conditions in Glitterhell. Anything that enters Glitterhell, including things inside your pockets, is considered property of Abbathor, and holding back on him results in his minions descending with wrath on anyone leaving with something valuable. Even extra-dimensional magics can hide gold from him, so things in a portable hole or bag of holding are visible to Abbathor. Nothing can be bought or sold since Abbathor keeps all the currency to himself. Instead, people here barter with services, however none of them ever agree on a fair price, since everyone here is greedy, always believing the other side's getting the best deal. Anything of high quality or deemed valuable is taken into Abbathor's trove. Since the petitioners here are greedy, they do not want their hard-earned possessions being taken away, so they make everything hastily, without regard to detail, so that it will not be valuable enough to take in the eyes of their god. Many visitors might be shocked to see dwarves crafting items of such poor quality and lacking in beauty. Glitterhell is divided into 3 sections: Abbathor's Hall, the Mines, and the Village. Abbathor's Hall is off-limits to everyone but Abbathor and his proxies. The place is illuminated so that no one can hide in shadows. In the center of the hall, in a quintuply locked, magically warded vault, is the trove of Abbathor filled with all manner of treasures. The mines are filled with veins of almost every type of metal, but Abbathor ignores most and only mines the precious silver and gold. The village, also called the Redoubt, is a stone-walled town all the locals live in. Dwarves on one end and other races crammed into slums on the other end. The other races are little more than slaves, most serving as miners and apprentices to crafters. Everyone here seems to dislike each other. Khin-Oin, the Wasting Tower. This is where the Oinoloth, or Oinodaemon if you're playing 1st edition, rules from. If you want more info on what exactly the Oinoloth is, check out my video on the hierarchy of Yugoloths, but basically, it's the ruler of the Yugoloth race, only being outranked by the General of Gehenna. But since he rules from Gehenna, the Oinoloth is sort of the head honcho of the Yugoloths within Hades. In 1st edition, the Wasting Tower is a fortress of gray stone battlements laced with crenellations and studded towers and minor citadels. In 2nd edition, it is made from the flayed spine of the first god who tried to cross the Yugoloths. It is where the Loths scheme to dominate the multiverse. It extends 20 miles into the gray sky and 20 miles down into the ground. Its central column is at least 1 mile thick and has lesser towers branching off of it. The tower is filled with, quote, spawning vats, magical laboratories, meditation chambers, orreries, maps of other planes, suites of rooms for the Ultraloths, floors that are battlegrounds and drill fields in and of themselves. These and so much more can be found here. It'd take a body decades to walk through every passage of Khin-Oin, and millennia to learn its secrets, end quote. Khin-Oin has never been controlled by anyone other than the Yugoloths, for even though the Loths constantly fight each other for power, which results in battles within the Wasting Tower daily, they can always cooperate when facing opposition. The Oinoloth rules Khin-Oin from his throne, the Siege Malicious. Whoever can make it to the top of the tower past all the Yugoloths, defeat the Oinoloth, and master the powers behind the Siege Malicious rules the tower and is given the title of Oinoloth. But all previous Oinoloths have always been Ultraloths, the most powerful of the Yugoloths. Take a drink every time I end a word in Loth. The Siege Malicious is a gargantuan throne carved from stone, inlaid with tarnished silver, base copper, and brass, and adorned with a circular crown of rubies. When one is able to become the Oinoloth, the Siege Malicious alters their form, sloughing off their skin and reducing their charisma by 1d4. This cannot be healed without forsaking the title of Oinoloth. It grants the ability to command all diseases on Oinos, modifying, nullifying, or creating new ones as they see fit. Nergaltos, the divine realm of Nergal, the Babylonian god of death. Nergaltos is a circular city of 7 domes laid out in rings, each ring having an arching dome enclosing the dome's rings within it. Quote, each dome is pierced by a single gate. At each gate, the traveler must roll a successful save versus spell or suffer the effects of being trapped in Hades. Each dome applies a cumulative -2 penalty to the save, so that by the time that the 7th dome is reached, the penalty is -14. So potent that powers such as Ishtar have been trapped in his domain. The city of Nergaltos is populated by soldiers similar to the warriors of Anu in description and powers, save that they are evil in nature. In the centermost of the domes within domes, Nergal keeps the forgotten powers whom Marduk and others of his pantheon have defeated and brought to him. Fleshslough, the divine realm of Yurtrus, the orc god of death and disease. It is dreary and depressing, even by the standards of the rest of Hades. Its entrance is 2 giant black iron doors set into a hillside, which emits the stench of death whenever they swing open. All plants die before reaching its borders, and anyone that enters never leaves, including the avatars of gods. Only Yurtrus and his silent orc spirits live within. Yurtrus has no mouth and never communicates. He is simply an embodiment of life-destructing principles. Urdsrest, the divine realm of Kuraulyek, god of the Urds, which is what winged kobolds are called. It dwells in a gloomy hillside cavern on Oinos and is defended by a force of monstrous mobats, which I believe are just giant bats. He never leaves this cave out of fear of retribution from Kuraulyek. The City of Judgement, the divine realm of the Faerunian god of death. It was called the City of the Dead when Merkel ruled, the City of Strife when Cyric ruled, and currently is known as the City of Judgment while Kelemvor rules. It is a place many souls of the newly dead wait to be taken to their appropriate afterlife. Those souls that don't get claimed by a god are judged by Kelemvor in the Crystal Spire. While Cyric ruled, the City of Strife was a horrific landscape, with a looming red sky where souls were tortured. The outer gates of the city were built using the still-beating hearts of dead cowards. Under Kelemvor, the City of Judgment is a flat plain, with no features or colors under a gray sky. The Fortress of Disease, the divine realm of Morgian, the god of plague and disease from Kryn, the planet of the Dragonlance setting. It rises from the rolling hills of Oinos, and the plagues that surround it are more virulent than anywhere else on the plains. And that is Oinos, the first Gloom of Hades. Next, I will be doing the second Gloom of Niflheim. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and remember to subscribe for more D&D related content.